What if you never had to listen to another artist's music ever again? Seriously, what if you could just create your own, perfectly tuned, to your own tastes, and do it in minutes? Well, that's the wild idea right at the center of the AI music debate, and we're about to dive into one creator's really passionate take on this whole new world.
Right off the bat, you can see this isn't just about some new tech toy. This is a huge shift in how we even think about music. The author's basically saying, for them, just being a listener is over. It's all about creating something hyper-personal, and that's the mindset we need to have to really get what's going on here.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's like having your own personal band, a professional studio, a world-class singer, all right there in your pocket. That's the experience the author is describing. With a tool like Suno, you can take a simple idea, a line of poetry, a tune you're humming, and boom, it becomes a fully produced song. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a giant leap in how music gets made.
And the speed is what's truly mind-blowing. We're talking about taking the entire creative process, from that first spark of an idea to a finished track, and shrinking it down to just a couple of minutes. This makes creating a song as easy as, I don't know, making a cup of coffee. And that is what makes it so revolutionary. And, so scary to the old guard. And, as you can probably guess, this kind of disruption does not go unnoticed. The established music industry sees this as a massive threat, and they are fighting back hard. They're challenging the very foundation of how these AI models are even built. This is where the battle lines are really being drawn. So, let's get right to the heart of the fight as our source lays it out. It all boils down to what you think two very simple words mean: training and copying. So, on one side, you have the innovators. They argue the AI is learning, just like a human would, soaking up patterns and styles to make something brand new. But on the other side, you've got the music industry. They see this as straight-up digital theft, using their copyrighted material without permission. It's a total clash of worldviews. And this brings us to the huge, almost philosophical question that the author wants us to wrestle with. Is what the AI is doing really any different from how human artists have learned for centuries? Or are we just freaked out because a machine can do it so fast and at such a massive scale? To really hammer this point home, the author uses a really powerful analogy, comparing how a human artist creates to how an AI does it. Let's break that down.
Okay, first, let's think about a human artist. Let's use Taylor Swift as an example. She grew up listening to her influences, right? Shania Twain, Paul McCartney. She absorbed their styles, mixed them all together, and created her own unique sound. Now the author asks a simple question. Should Paul McCartney be able to sue her for being inspired by his music? Of course not. That's how art works. It's how it moves forward. Now let's look at the AI. It's given tons of data, it finds the patterns in it, and then it generates something new. It's not making a perfect copy of a Michael Jackson song. It's creating a new pop song that just happens to be in his style. The author's whole argument is that this is fundamentally the same process. It's learning, not theft. And here is the crucial takeaway from all of that. If you make it illegal for an AI to learn from the world around it, from music, art, books, you name it, you're not just slowing down AI, you're basically pulling the plug. The author is arguing that the entire future of this technology is hanging in the balance right now.
And that is exactly why this is about so much more than just music. The author doesn't see this as some little legal tiff. They frame it as a critical moment in a much, much bigger technological revolution. The source puts this moment into historical perspective. Think about the massive shift from horses to cars. Or, more recently, think about Napster. It got sued into the ground, but what happened in the end? The streaming era was born. The author's point is clear. You can fight the new technology, but you can't stop the future. And we're talking about a massive scale here. The author isn't just comparing this to a new iPhone. They're saying this is a societal shift as big as, or maybe even bigger than, the Industrial Revolution. That's how high they think the stakes are. And with a revolution this huge, you get geopolitical consequences. The author gives a very stark warning. If Western countries cripple their own AI development with restrictive laws, innovation won't just stop. Nope, it'll just move somewhere else. China and other nations will grab the opportunity, and a black market for powerful, unregulated AI will pop up.
But just when you think this is all about the future of entertainment and legal battles, the author takes this really fascinating turn. Because for them, this technology isn't just about making hit songs. It's about completely rewiring the way we learn.
And this is where the author's personal story really makes you think. They actually use Suno as a study tool, turning boring facts into catchy songs. But they don't stop there. They imagine a future with study discotheques, where students could literally dance their way through their homework. It's a wild, kind of fun vision for education, but it could have huge benefits, especially for neurodiverse learners.
So, when you think about all these transformative possibilities, the author's position becomes crystal clear. The people making these tools, they aren't villains who need to be hunted down with lawsuits. They're pioneers who should be celebrated, maybe even with a Nobel Prize for what they're contributing to humanity.
And after laying out this whole passionate case from personal creativity to global politics to the future of education, the author's frustration with the legal backlash just boils down to one perfect exclamation. This is ludicrous! It's raw, it's human, and it perfectly captures how absurd the whole situation feels from their point of view.
And so that leaves us with this fundamental question. In an age where machines can learn and create, where do we actually draw the line between inspiration and infringement? The answer to that isn't just going to shape the future of music or tech, it's going to define the very nature of what creativity even means in the 21st century. What do you think?